Hello and welcome back to Movie Zone. In this video, we will be recapping the 2023 Screenlive thriller movie Missing. Get some snacks and let's get into the video. The movie starts with 6-year-old June Allen being recorded by her dad James. Then he gives the camera to June, and we see James in the frame. June's mom joins them and start recording the father and daughter. Soon we get to know it was an archive video. Gets paused seeing James' nose bleeding. 12 years later, we see June's mom having FaceTime with her daughter. We finds out that her mom is leaving for a week-long trip to Cartagena, Colombia. June argues with her mom when her mom asks one of her friends, Heather, to babysit June while she is away. June was planning for a secret party with her friends, and it will collapse if Heather is there. Audiences were shocked, just like June, when her mom's boyfriend, Kevin, tells June that he made this trip planning a marriage proposal to her mom. Before her mom leaves, she insisted June to clear her voice. June gets frequent whereabouts messages from mom, and later Heather shows up at her home. June starts to party with her friends like there's no tomorrow. She throws a party at her house on Father's Day. We could see June barely enjoying party and she misses her dad a lot. June gets a reminder that she needs to pick up her mom from the airport. She waits for their arrival, but her mom never shows up. She left a message and tried FaceTiming her mom, but couldn't connect with her. Then she calls the hotel manager where her mom and her boyfriend, Kevin, were staying. June has to use Google Translator to communicate with the Spanish manager since he doesn't speak English. She gets to know that her mom and Kevin have already left the hotel, but all their things is still in that room. June right away informs Heather, who is a lawyer. Heather asks June to fill up the missing persons abroad report, and they will proceed further. The FBI never responded since she reported. Her friend Vina suggested June to try a live scam via the tourist app. Later, June hires a Colombian gig worker, Javier, who accepts June's request for small charges. She asks him to get the CCTV footage of her mom from the hotel management before it gets erased in 48 hours. Meanwhile, June, after many attempts to crack the password to Kevin's Gmail, she finally gets into his account and finds out there's no location history after the 12th of June. Javier calls June and lets her know that Kevin went to a hardware shop and got hammers and shovel. June gets into Kevin's credit transaction history and finds the shop he went to. June came across few girls were cheated by Kevin under many different names. While she was going through his email, he was scamming many women for their money. Then we see June traces down Kevin's past activities in Nevada and finds out he was in a pastor's house, Jimmy. She calls him and gets to know Kevin has rehabilitated and he was genuinely in love with her mom. June accesses Kevin's dating profile and goes through the chats he had with her mom. After seeing those text messages, June realizes her mom was well aware about Kevin's criminal past. Her mom shares her past about James, who died from a brain tumor. In the meantime, June finds out that Kevin went to hardware shop to get a padlock for a love lock bridge. She goes to live cams and saw Kevin proposing to her mom. June feels guilty for thinking Kevin was a bad guy. Agent Park informs her that he has a bad news and shows her a footage of her mom and Kevin were kidnapped by a group of criminals. Something strikes June's mind, and she goes through again the pictures her mom sent her. Then she realizes that person in those pictures wasn't actually her mom. She discovers the girl on Instagram, Rachel Page, to be impersonating as her mom with Kevin. This case becomes a breaking news, and Rachel was caught by the police on the airplane. She later confesses that Kevin manipulated her, saying they were doing all this for a reality show. She was unaware of his real intentions. June's friend Vina suspects the Uber guy must be hired by Kevin to kidnap her mom. Later we were revealed that June's mom, Grace Allen, went by another name in her past and she hid her real identity in her present life. Speculations about Grace that she got something to do with her own disappearance spreads across the social media. June strongly believes her mom is innocent. June decided to investigate about her mom's disappearance and came across an app called Guys. She texts an unknown user, asking for their phone number to talk. The app was logged out right after she copied the number. Plot twist, that's Heather who was behind all this. June runs to Heather's office and notices the office ransacked. She discovers Heather's dead body lying on the floor. It's a notification from Vina that Kevin was found. She views live footage where Kevin was surrounded by police. He was shot to death despite surrendering. June, who was tired and about to give up, then listens to her mom's past voice messages. She figures out her mom's email password while listening to it. While checking her Google account, she finds a blocked user who used to threaten her mom. Later she got to know that Kevin purchased security cameras to install them at an abandoned house. She discovers the abandoned house was her childhood home at Nevada. June gets a phone call from Jimmy telling her that he got some information about her mom. Motion detected at the front door, and it happened to be Jimmy, aka James, her father. He was the Uber driver. June was chased after by James before she could answer her friend's call. She was kidnapped by her own father. Later, the movie unfolds the secrets behind the family. Grace claims that James was mentally unstable and he is seen abusing Grace. He was arrested under false charges after Grace gave false accusations to him that he is a drug addict. She took June away from him and changed her name from Sarah to Grace so he won't find them. Whereas James meets Kevin in the same prison. He takes revenge on Grace by making Kevin as her prospective boyfriend and finds out their place. James takes her to the abandoned house. He tied her on a chair and locked her in a room. We see that Grace is being held captive by him in a shed. She finds out he has taken June, so she fights him and locks him in the shed. Grace runs towards June and aunties her. Here James locked both mother and daughter in that room. James shortly comes back asking June to follow him, but her mom jumps in to protect her daughter. He shot her right on her stomach and jumps on June forcefully to tie her. But Grace stabs him on the neck with a broken piece of glass. James again locks them inside and tries looking for a hospital nearby, then dies while doing so. Suddenly June realizes her laptop was still on and she uses audio feed on the camera to access Siri 2 phone. She calls 911 and later got saved by police. The movie ends with Javier reunites with his son and June says love you to her mom.